Hello, hello. Rocky is staring at me drinking my coffee like he wants some. You can't have any Rockadoo Little. Hello, Polo. It's good to see you. Hello, hello, hello. I see the fans. Oh, your Polo bright and early. Welcome, Polo. Welcome. So good to see you. Woohoo. Where them fans at? Where them fans at? Oh, my bell. You can ring my bell. Ring my bell, my bell. Ring a ding a ding. Ring my bell. Woo! All right. We got to let a few more people come in. Here's Rockadoo Little. Hey, Rockadoo Little. Rockadoo Little's in my face. Okay, I am getting something for us lovely people. Okay, it's not on there. Oh, yes, it is. Okay, I got 2 lives that's going to go down. This is the first one. If you wasn't here yesterday, oh my God, the live was so funny. Funny, funny, funny. All right. Ooh.
Meghan unveils new as ever line with Lily. Meghan unveils new as ever line with Lily Med amid claims Netflix has been left with huge $10 million surplus of her unsold products after split with the stream.
Okay. Rockadoo Little. Uh-oh. Rockadoo Little, don't get upset. All right, let's get to it.
Regarding Andrew, I think he should be treated like a
Rock-a-Doolittle.
Donald Trump is panicking as Iran is directly threatening his life right now. They're threatening the entire Trump regime. Donald Trump's disastrous and unlawful war in Iran is backfiring. Iran is deploying something called escalation dominance, and they warned Donald Trump about this. Earlier yesterday, Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu jointly attacked the South Pars facility in Iran, and they destroyed like this critical infrastructure that was there, this key gas field. And Iran said, okay, you do that. We're going to be attacking the kind of northern gas fields area, which are kind of connected to the South Pars facility that's run by Qatar. We're going to strike it, and we're going to take away 20% of the entire world's liquefied natural gas. This facility called Ras Laffan, which is controlled by Qatar in the north, supplies 20% of global liquefied natural gas. Iran strikes it. Qatar is absolutely furious at Donald Trump. One of their foreign ministers, spokespeople are like, we condemn in the strongest terms what Israel and the United States have done, although they act like it was just Netanyahu did it. But the military in the United States and all of the reporting confirmed Donald Trump and Netanyahu were both involved in this. And one of the things that Iran also said it was going to do was...
Hi, Cece. Good to see you. Hi, Pickles. Hi, Polo. Hi, Polly. It's so good to see you guys.
Was it was going to blow up Saudi Arabian energy fields as well. And you saw these mushroom clouds over Riyadh and Saudi Arabia, direct strikes by Iranian drones there. And the Iranian head of their parliament, Ghalibaf, says we are now in what's called eye for an eye equation. You wanted to escalate. We're going to dominate you, Donald Trump. And one of the things as well that we're seeing, and I'll talk about this more in a moment, there are these drones, and nobody knows where they're coming from, circling over Fort McNair in Washington, D.C. That's where Pete Hegseth and Marco Rubio are living. Most of the Trump regime cabinet now, they don't live in like neighborhoods because of all of their war crimes and their heinous conduct. They have to live and their cover up of child sex trafficking rings with the Epstein files. They have to live on military facilities and bases. So they're in Fort McNair, and there are drones over the past 10 days that have been circling, and people are like, is this coming from Iran? Is this coming from Russia? Is this coming from China? Here's what the head of Iran's parliament, Ghalibaf, had to say. He said, last night, the people of Iran foiled all of the enemy's designs. They are angry and frustrated with the people of Iran, and by attacking infrastructure, they seek to conceal their battlefield defeats. Of course, this amounts to suicide for them. An eye for an eye equation is in effect, and a new level of confrontation has begun. And here's the thing that I've always been saying about Donald Trump. His entire life, this guy is a pathetic loser. He's weak. He gets scared and he acts all tough, but he can get outmaneuvered so easily and checkmated so easily. He is pathetic when you stand up to him. As I said before, look, E. Jean Carroll stood up to Donald Trump and beat him. Look, you've had numerous migrants stand up to Donald Trump with all the resources Donald Trump threw at them. They were able to beat Donald Trump. Letitia James has beaten Donald Trump. Alvin Bragg has beaten Donald Trump. I mean, individuals who can stand up to him, you'll beat him if you just stand up to him and stop his bullying tactics. So, Yeah, Iran sees that Donald Trump is a loser. They do escalation dominance. And what does Donald Trump do after bombing the South Pars energy facility of Iran? Donald Trump then throws Israel under the bus. And he says the U.S. knew nothing about the strike on Iran's South Par gas field, despite all the reporting saying Donald Trump and Netanyahu were in on this together. So now Trump's trying to distance himself after the fact. Why? Because you have Qatar, yet Qatar's northern fields, its Ras Laffan facility, didn't just get hit once. It got hit twice. Iran's been hitting it all day, the same way Iran's been striking these facilities in Riyadh too. I mean, again, you just take a look at some of this B-roll we're showing of what it looks like. So then Donald Trump blinks and Donald Trump posts the following. Israel, out of anger for what has taken place in the Middle East, has violently lashed out at a major facility known as the South Pars gas field in Iran. A relatively small section of the whole has been hit. The United States knew nothing about this particular attack, and the country of Qatar was in no way, shape, or form involved with it, nor did it have any idea that it was going to happen. Unfortunately, Iran did not know this or any of the pertinent facts pertaining to the South Pars attack, and unjustifiably and unfairly attacked a portion of Qatar's liquefied natural gas facility. No, and then Donald Trump puts this in caps. No more attacks will be made by Israel pertaining to this extremely important and valuable South Pars field unless Iran unwisely decides to attack a very innocent, in this case, Qatar, in which instance the United States of America, with or without the help or consent of Israel, will massively blow up the entirety of the South Pars gas field at an amount of strength and power that Iran has never seen or witnessed before. I do not want to authorize this level of violence and destruction because of the long-term implications that it will have on the future of Iran. But if Qatar's LNG, liquefied natural gas, is again attacked, I will not hesitate to do so. Thank you for your attention to this matter, Donald J. Trump. You're a paper tiger, bud. Nobody is scared of you right now. You have made us here in the United States look pathetic and weak because of what you're doing, your behavior. What you think Iran's gonna be like, oh, I guess Donald Trump made a social media post and said he was not in on it with Netanyahu, so we should stop with Qatar. I mean, what do you think? This is like some 2-bit con job real estate transaction? This is war and peace, bud. This is war and peace. You've brought the United States into this disastrous war. You've gotten over a dozen service members killed. Hundreds have been injured. You are destroying the economy. The price right now per barrel of oil is over $110. I think that will be at $150 per barrel soon. People can't afford gas here in the United States. People are suffering right now here in the United States because of you, and all you do now is beg, oh, please help us in the Strait of Hormuz, NATO. Oh, NATO, we don't need you. You're pathetic, but please help us, NATO. We don't need you, but please help us. It's just so freaking weak, and it is embarrassing, frankly, as an American, to see this in action. To the contrary of what Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth and Marco Rubio say, we've destroyed all of Iran's ballistic missiles. Wrong. Just take a look at this chart posted by Andreas Larson. Iran is firing more and they are hitting more per shot than during the first days of the conflict. Not good. We know that Iran, with the help of Russia and China, they've gotten the coordinates for America's top anti-drone satellites in the area, and they've taken out our radars. They've taken out our satellite systems. They've taken them out. And now they're basically operating with impunity. Their militias in Iraq are showing the drones flying around, showing that they can strike wherever they want. These FPV, these first-person view drones, just flying around wherever they want to go, hitting any target they want. And look, Iran said, we are going to hit the Ras Laffan facility. We're going to hit the facilities in Riyadh. And they did it. They weren't bluffing. They said what they were going to do, and they did it. And Qatar's Ministry of Interior confirms it's dealing with these horrible, horrible fires. Here's a point that's not being made. The fact that these facilities now are being destroyed, this isn't like some short-term issue. This could take a decade to fix. Like, even if the war ended today or tomorrow, say, just ended, the issues, the systemic issues that are being created could take a decade to fix. And by the way, we're seeing this footage. It's very reminiscent of COVID, I feel like, where you're seeing in a lot of nations people lining up or trying to figure out how the hell they're going to get gas right now. And they're doing everything they can to just try to figure it out. And there's no gas there. That's starting to spread from these countries that are poorer than the United States in the West, but that's going to start to hit us soon. So as Donald Trump blinks, what's he doing right now? Well, the latest reporting from Reuters also is that Donald Trump is considering deploying thousands of additional combat troops to the Middle East as the military prepares options for the next phase of the ongoing war in Iran. One option being discussed for securing the Strait of Hormuz includes deploying U.S. troops to the coastline of Iran.
Hello.
Doesn't exactly seem like a smart plan there. Seems like the worst plan ever. But this is part of the escalation trap, which is as Donald Trump's manhood that he never had is being utterly neutered, because frankly, he was neutered to begin with, and he was overcompensating.
Not neutered. His manhood. He wasn't neutered. Save our troops, says Paulie. Hello? Why are troops being deployed to the Middle East, Donald Trump, if it's not a war, if it's their war? Make it make sense. And then this gentleman just talked about Donald Trump's testicles.
Which is as Donald Trump's manhood that he never had.
His manhood that he never had. Wow.
Is being utterly neutered, because
it's being neutered. He never had it, but it's being neutered. Wow. These are not my thoughts. Yes, Cece says 7 watching, 1 like. Oh my God, no one likes me. Please hit the like button. Oh, like, share, and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 7,000. We can do it. We can do it. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can do it. We can do it. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can do it. We can do it. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Says CC. Also, smash the heart button in the lower right corner to help boost Lady Letitia's algorithm. Woohoo! My algorithm. Push it up, guys. We can do it. We can do it. Yeah. Hello, Debbie. Good to see you. I don't know those people. Hola. Wake up, ladies and gentlemen. Wake up, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? There is a crisis on our hands. This gentleman said that Donald Trump never had any manhood, but it is being, what did he call it? Amputated, not amputated. Circumcision. I don't know what he said. Okay, I'll check it out.
Frankly, he was neutered to begin with, and he was overcompensating. he needs to feel tough, and he's going to escalate this, and I'm going to bring my troops, and I'm going to secure the Strait of Hormuz. And he is sending our troops into a death.
Remember this from yesterday? Remember this from yesterday? Piers Morgan, remember? That's his wife laying by that pool boy. You guys remember? There's wifey poo. And there's the pool boy. My pool boy don't look like that. Okay, he's an older man. Okay, there's a short video I'm going to show you guys of CC has recommended. Hold on. Okay, let me fix it. Let me fix something. Put it back on here real quick.
It's so obvious where this is heading, where this is going. The part that surprised me is that I think it's starting to now be understood within kind of more mainstream circles. And as you know, I mean, there were lots of people who would attack us at the Midas Touch Network and say, they're being so hyperbolic, and why are they so hyperbolic on everything? This is not what's happening. Okay, really? Let's talk about what the World Health Organization just talked about today. The World Health Organization is preparing for a nuclear catastrophe, a potential worst-case scenario for the Middle East if the conflict between Iran, Israel, and the United States escalates further. UN staff are monitoring the fallout of strikes on Iran's nuclear sites and remain vigilant for any type of nuclear threat, according to WHO's regional director for the Eastern Mediterranean. The worst case scenario is a nuclear incident, and that's something that worries us the most. As much as we prepare, there's nothing that can prevent the harm that will come the region's way. And globally, if this eventually happens, and the consequences are going to last for decades, and they are preparing for a nuclear incident because this is Donald Trump's capricious, malignant, narcissistic nature. This is where things are heading. And look what he's posting. Donald Trump's posting, he's got his own regime media, New York Post. They have a headline. U.S. allies need to get a grip. Step up and help open the Strait of Hormuz. Get a grip, allies. They're not your allies anymore. You started trade wars against all of them. You tariffed them. You demeaned them. You attacked them. You called Canada the 51st state. You said that NATO never contributed soldiers to fight alongside the United States in Afghanistan when countries shed blood for the United States, had their soldiers die fighting alongside the United States. You did this war by yourself. You didn't give any notice to the Arab nations. You didn't give any notice to NATO. You didn't give notice to anyone. It was just you and Netanyahu did this thing by yourself. I'm going to do another video in the next 90 minutes or so that I'll post, because the foreign minister of Oman, who was the mediator between the United States and Iran, who was picked by the United States to be the mediator, he's been speaking over the past 24 hours and just saying the United States right now is just, really betrayed the entire Middle East. And the foreign minister of Oman says, look, even though Oman's been attacked and other Middle Eastern nations, it's Iran's only play. When Donald Trump says, I'm going to decapitate this regime, this is predictably how they were going to react. And
you're more than welcome to come up here, Debbie, and support your president, because that's what you do. You're a supporter of Donald Trump's, and he can do no wrong. This war is a good war. And I'm not putting words in your mouth, but I'm not seeing you debunk it. I'm not seeing you speak down upon the war or say this is a war that is senseless or say anything negative or anything remotely that we should not be in war. Nope. But a big deflector, because I don't know who any of these people are. Who are they? I don't know. I don't know what purpose they have. And what meeting? No, sweetheart. You need me to call it? Ooh, I gotta call my little sister. She called me yesterday. Yeah. Explain it to us, because I don't know who you're talking about.
When Donald Trump betrayed the democracy protesters in January.
Say things like that I don't know what you're talking about. It almost sounds like you're deflecting, because I don't get it. I don't know the purpose of these people. Are they against the war, for the war? Are they in trouble? Not if he's not mentioning them. He didn't mention them. We still don't know who they are. Why would he mention them? What's the purpose? I don't get it. It just feels like a deflect. It just feels like a deflect-to-do. You know? A deflect-to-do. Guys, don't forget to hit that like button. Okay? Oh, Cece wanted us to see this. Check this out. This is why we don't like war.
May tear up saying it. I was driving down the street one day, and there were two guys walking along the street. I looked at them, and I know those guys. They're from home. This one guy, especially, Bruce Hollenbeek, he lived about a half a block from me, and we were good friends in high school. I went to the Navy, and I didn't see him, but I saw him there. He was a Marine, and I said, "What are you guys doing here?" He said, "Well, we're on R&R. We're about ready to go back to our unit." I said, "What can I get you? Can I get you anything?" "Well, we'd like to have a sheet. We haven't slept under a sheet in 6 months."
Oh,
I said,
wow.
"Well, I can do that." I said, "I'll meet you after the movie tonight." The hospital always put on a movie, and we went to the movie. Usually at night, that was the entertainment. Anyway, we met at the movie, saw the movie, and I gave them a sheet. And then they said, "Well, and by the way, Robin, we're leaving first thing in the morning. We're going back to our unit." And I said, "Oh, well, that's great." I said, "When we get through this war, let's all meet in Dine Fessler." That's a drugstore that had a soda fountain. And I said, "Let's meet there and have a cold Coke after the war." And Bruce looked at me.
Oh, wow.
And he said, "Robin, I'm not going to make it." I said, "Bruce, don't talk like that." He says, "Yes, you are." He says, "No, Robin, I'm not."
Oh, God, this was so sad. This is sad to do. Blame it on Cece. Just kidding. Just kidding. It is sad to do, though. No, Debbie's cool. Debbie's fine. Debbie is fine. Debbie has her own thoughts and individuality and what she thinks. I respect her thoughts. I respect her opinion. I do. Well, Debbie, we are open to whoever you want us to watch. Okay, that's going to give us some entertainment news. Okay? If you want us to switch over to a different news station to hear what your news has to say about this war, I'm open. He's running everything in the Islam regime. What is he running? Okay. Trigger warning, adult content, trigger warning, content being discussed can be triggering. Please step away if needed, okay? This is a little sad to do. It's just their horrible reality of war. And this war is useless. Okay. Let's get back to the video.
We're going to make it. And I looked at him and I said, well, God bless you. Shook his hand, turned around and walked off.
Wow.
He was killed 4 days before his 19th birthday.
He wasn't even 18. He was 18 years old and died 4 days before his birthday. He was killed 4 days before his birthday.
That's part of war.
That's part of war.
War is terrible.
War is terrible.
They shouldn't have wars. We ought to be able to figure out something not to have war.
We shouldn't have wars. Why are we in war? For what? This is useless. This is Donald Trump's useless, illegal war. And you got Debbie talking about the IRCG, and I have no idea what she's talking about. But I do know this war is useless. This war is horrible. And that was so sad. Hello, Plotter. Welcome. It's good to see you. And Debbie says this. Protesters in January, this past January. I just wonder what this has to do, Debbie, with the war, with the people that are dying, with the men and women that are supposed to be going up there. And in the Middle East, he's deploying troops to the Middle East for a war that he started. Why does this have to do with anything? No one is excited about this guy you keep bringing up. He sounds like a very bad gentleman. And not even a gentleman. He sounds like a very bad guy. But what does that got to do with Donald Trump's war? What does that got to do with Donald Trump's war with our men and women going to the front line in the Middle East? That's what he started off in this conversation. He's telling us the truth. He's not lying about it. Do your channel tell us that Donald Trump is trying to deploy troops to the Middle East for this war? Do they talk about the allies that don't want to get involved? And then did he talk about how he's going after NATO? Oh my God, Debbie, you got a lot of defending to do. But you're talking about things that I don't know what we have to do with that. Because Donald Trump's war has nothing to do with him helping people. Nothing to do with him helping people. Is this like, is he helping people and this is why we have a war? Is that what you're trying to say? Oh, thank you, Flutter. Okay, still don't know what you're talking about. How does that bring it around? Oh, okay. Got it. Got it. All right. And so he would know if there was some nuclear stuff going on, right? Because Donald Trump said that Iran had some nuclear bombs going on, and they were there to make sure that they don't have it. And to my understanding, they have knocked out the systems to allow them to create a bomb. So why are we still there? Sorry to hear about this veteran.
May tear up saying it. I was driving down the street one day, and there were two guys walking along the street. I looked at them and I know those guys. They're from home. This one guy, especially, Bruce Hollandy, he lived about a half a block from me, and we were good friends in high school. I went to the Navy, and I didn't see him, but I saw him there. He was a Marine, and I said, "What are you guys doing here?" He said, "Well, we're on R&R. We're about ready to go back to our unit." I said, "What can I get you? Can I get you anything?" "Well, we'd like to have a sheet. We haven't slept under a sheet in 6 months." I said, "Well, I can do that." I said, "I'll meet you."
Something as simple as a sheet. You can have it.
After the movie tonight, the hospital always put on a movie, and we went to the movie. Usually at night, that was the entertainment. Anyway, we met at the movie, saw the movie, and I gave them a sheet. And then they said, "Well, and by the way, Robin, we're leaving first thing in the morning. We're going back to our unit." And I said, "Oh, well, that's great." I said, "When we get through this war, let's all meet in Dine Fessler. That's a drugstore that had a soda fountain." And I said, "Let's meet there and have a cold Coke after the war."
A cold Coke.
And Bruce looked at me. And he said, "Robin, I'm not going to make it." I said, "Bruce, don't talk like that." He says, "Yes, you are." He says, "No, Robin, I'm not going to make it." And I looked at him and I said, "Well, God bless you." Shook his hand, turned around and walked off.
1945. Casualties of war.
He was killed 4 days before his 19th birthday. That's part of war. War is terrible.
He was a baby.
They shouldn't have wars. We ought to be able to figure out something not to have wars.
He was a baby. Let's get back to our regular scheduled program. Debbie is supposed to give us some new kind of newsies because she thinks that my news is one-sided or doesn't explain all the rest of the news. So should we turn it on Fox? Okay, I got Fox News up. Put a one in the chat if you want to hear about. Oh, sorry.
Pathetic. I don't know how many more times I can say it. By the way, the families of fallen soldiers in this war, they want Donald Trump nowhere near when Donald Trump brings them his cameras and tries to use the bodies and the caskets for fundraising. These families of
Wow.
fallen soldiers who are returning in caskets draped with American flags, they don't want Donald Trump near them at all. But Donald Trump, like the
Ooh.
predator that he is, he keeps on taking cameras and photographing himself with the coffins.
Why
And the
is he
family's like, we don't want you. What the hell are you doing? Get away from us. I'll just show you how Fox was reporting it, where they said the families are now requesting
Okay, here's a Fox moment.
in this latest dignified transfer that happened yesterday that it be private. Watch what they say. Here, play this clip.
Military base when the remains of the 6 U.S. service members killed in the crash of that refueling aircraft are returned to their families. Obviously, a very solemn moment. John, this is, of course, the second time since launching the war with Iran that the president will attend the solemn military ritual known as the dignified transfer.
Yeah, we should point out that at the request of the families, the dignified transfer is going to remain private. There will not be any cameras there. So unlike we have seen in the past, we will not see scenes of the president welcoming the heroes back home.
But did Donald Trump listen? No. Donald Trump, contrary to the wishes and desires of the family who lost.
Contrary to the wishes of the family, Donald Trump didn't hear nothing they said. They said that they didn't want him taking pictures and all of that with their loved ones. They just wanted a private ceremony. But no, nobody's listening. Nobody's listening. Oh, that's very sad, Debbie. That's very sad. Every life is precious to me. But I still don't know what that has to do with the United States. What does that have to do with this war? What does that have to do with the United States? Why are we in their business? I think I asked you that the other day. He didn't consult NATO. He didn't consult his allies. He didn't consult those that would help him with the war. The ones that said, no, we're not going to help. We're not in this war with you, Donald Trump. Yeah, they don't want to have nothing to do with this war. That's what we're talking about. Exactly, Plotter. Plotter also says it is never about, it's about the interests of Israel. Iran's government is a dictatorship called. Okay, so now they are a dictatorship with a government body called the Israel Republican Corp Guard, IRCG. Only 10% of the population want them in power. Okay, so what are we going to do? Are we supposed to be helping them? Is that what you're saying? Is that what this war is about? That Donald Trump is over there helping them because only 10% of these people want this going on in their government? Because Donald Trump don't care about nobody but himself. Okay? He is selfish, self-absorbed, self-ado. Hi, Demon Dictator. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get what their government has to do with our government. We could say that about a whole bunch of countries that's having a regime they don't like, their government they don't like. There's a lot of that going along in a lot of different countries. But do you see us over there? No, we're not. We're not helping those people. It is a useless war. Okay, here's something. Terrorist TV. Okay. I will look them up. If it's good, we'll watch. If it's one of them want ones, we're moving on. Okay, so I'll turn it on that. I know, but I'm exactly CC, and I'm trying to figure out what the story has to do with the war, because Donald Trump is not about helping these people. And it's weird because it's like this is happening to them, but it's almost like Debbie's trying to say that the reason why we're over there is because we're trying to help these people. It's weird. We're not. Oh, as do I, and there is a true underlying sentiment amongst solution. Yeah, help me to understand what that has to do with the war. Help me to understand that, what we're talking about. Hi, Chris. I think so. I think he's kind of out there. Greatest Generation. And I've dropped the link. I put it on Fox News. Let me keep it on there. And let me go to this TV show.
Become friends, and I'm very proud of the job you've done. It's not easy. Any questions, please?
Mr. President, are you fully satisfied with the level of support that you're getting from Japan on Iran, including around minesweepers?
Well, we're going to be speaking about it today. Go ahead, you can go.
日本から、飛来艇などの支援に関して、その点について今の状況に満足していらっしゃいますか?
We're going to be speaking about it today. We've had tremendous support and relationship with Japan on everything. And I believe that based on statements that were given to us yesterday, the day before yesterday, having to do with Japan, they are really stepping up to the plate. Yes.
Yeah. They're going to be discussing, obviously, a lot of things. They're going to go back to the situation in Iran. Just before we came live, they were talking about Japan's efforts to reopen the Strait of Hormuz as well. So let's talk about what's actually happening as we speak, because the British government seems to have changed their mind again, flip-flopping from Prime Minister Keir Starmer. And I personally don't believe anything I'm hearing from the British PM, because until literally 2 hours ago, they were still saying, no, we're not doing anything. But the position may have changed again, which is really weird. Firstly, the United Arab Emirates are now officially in wartime. We are seeing these billboards around Dubai and Abu Dhabi. In the UAE, everyone is Emirati with a black flag of Islam. So there is a few things to discuss. First things first, the IRGC drones are now attacking Kuwait, and they have hit the largest oil refineries in Kuwait. A drone struck one of the largest sites initially. This is the Al Ahmadi refinery. Let's quickly go to the moment of the attack by the Islamic Republic. This is in Kuwait. And then the second attack then sparked another fire at the nearby Mina Abdullah refinery, which produces around 4,504. Oh, hang on. Yeah, we'll get back to that. 454,000 barrels per day. Kuwait is also now under attack once again. We have a quick update from Central Command. In terms of what they have been doing, they have released yet another video update for us. The US CENTCOM, Central Command, have now showed additional strikes against the IRGC naval assets. This is now obviously the joint US-Israeli operations. The Americans are hitting the Persian Gulf in the south. The Israelis are hitting the Bandar Anzali, which is in the Caspian Sea, in the northern parts of Iran. So all this is happening at the same time, but major update is coming from European leaders as well as the Persian Gulf Arab countries. They are all assembling now. We still don't know exactly the role of the United Kingdom in this, by the way. We have some details, but not really anything major. But it's crazy stuff that if you want to...
Yeah, the United Kingdom is not with the United States in this frivolous war. Where's the United Kingdom? Oopsie.
Reduce the risk. If you want to end this conflict as soon as possible, and we have to end this as soon as possible, you must defeat the IRGC, because that cancer is being spread around the whole world. There was a moment earlier on that a Russia TV reporter, absolute crazy stuff as usual, Russia TV RT were at a site in southern Lebanon. The Israeli Defense Forces gave an evacuation warning multiple times. Normal civilians evacuated. Then Steve Sweeney, who is actually British, working for the Russians, the RT correspondent and the cameraman, decided to go stand right next to where the strikes were happening, literally where the entrance to the tunnel was there. This is on the Al-Qasamiya bridge. And of course, the IDF continued to hit the same position, and then this happened.
Further rocket attacks were reported against Nahariya and a minute.
What were you thinking? Suddenly, they're the victims.
I did not see that coming. Did you guys see that coming? This idiot. Oh, wait. Did you see that man standing there like an idiot? Like, what an idiot. Yes, I saw it coming. Oh.
British working for the Russians, the RT correspondent and the cameraman decided to go stand right next to where the strikes were happening, literally where the entrance to the tunnel was there. This is on the Al Qasamiya bridge. And of course, the IDF continued to hit the same position, and then this happened.
Further rocket attacks were reported against Nahariya and a minute.
What were you thinking? Suddenly, they're the victims now. They know what they're doing, by the way. This is on purpose.
Fucking hell.
Wait for the clicks for RT, right?
He said F. He said the F word. I don't care who you are. They told you not to stand there. According to Debbie. Debbie said, yes, I saw it coming because the idiot was told it was coming. Oh, shit. Woo! Get out the way. Idiot, trying to get the story. Look, trying to get the story.
The same position, and then this happened.
Further rocket attacks were reported against Nahariya and a minute.
What were you thinking? Suddenly, they're the victims now. They know what they're doing, by the way. This is on purpose.
Fucking hell.
Wait for the clicks for RT, right?
Fuck.
Now. What an idiot. Oh, he's injured. Why are you there? What were you doing there? So the Russians.
Yeah, I'm like him. What were you doing there? Okay. What were you doing there? Standing there next to the comment of the moment goes to Debbie. Yes, I saw it coming because the idiot was told it was coming. If I was the guy, the cameraman, I would have said, I'm not standing here. Somebody should have said something. And then he gets up and he says, fuck. Woo. Woo. Okay, one more time.
Gave an evacuation warning multiple times. Normal civilians.
Evacuation warning. So there you go. You were warned. You were warned, you idiot. Evacuate, evacuate. Get out the way. You're right by the bomb. 2 more little feet and it would have just hit you. Oh my goodness.
At a Russia TV reporter, absolute crazy stuff as usual. Russia TV, RT were at a site in southern Lebanon. The Israeli Defense Forces gave an evacuation warning multiple times. Normal civilians evacuated. Then Steve Sweeney, who is actually British, working for the Russians, the RT correspondent and the cameraman, decided to go stand right next to where the strikes were happening, literally where the entrance to the tunnel was there. This is on the Al Qasamiya bridge. And of course, the IDF continued to hit the same position, and then this happened.
Further rocket attacks were reported against Nahariya and a minute.
What were you thinking? Suddenly, they're the victims now. They know what they're doing, by the way. This is on purpose.
Fucking hell.
Wait for the clicks for RT, right?
That hurt my funny bone. Oh, shoot. They told him. They told him. They said, don't stand here. Okay. Don't you stand over here. The bombs are coming in this direction. Don't stand over here. The bombs are coming over here. Okay? Evacuate. Move. Skedoodle. Skedaddle. Get out of this area. This area is not good for anyone. Period. Move.
To hit the same position, and then this happened.
Further rocket attacks were reported against Nahal. And a minute.
What were you thinking? Suddenly, they're the victims now.
Nobody's there but him. Everybody has evacuated. I gotta show this to my mom.
They know what they're doing, by the way. This is on purpose.
Fucking hell.
Wait for the clicks for RT, right?
Fuck.
Now. What an idiot. Oh, he's injured.
He could have got killed. Unalive. He could put a 1 in the chat if he could have been unalived. Shit. Okay, good for them, Debbie. But I still don't see what Donald Trump has to do with them. What do Donald Trump has to do with that? What does our president of the United States of America have to do with what's going on? Is he going to help these people? Is that what this war is about? Donald Trump helping people? No, he's not.
Why are you there? What were you doing there? So the Russians are now kicking off saying, well, why is our journalist getting attacked? Firstly, they told you they're coming. They were in the middle of the attack. And you were like, okay, so they're just hitting that hole.
Yeah.
We're going to go stand right next to the hole.
They told you they were coming.
That's normal behavior for professional journalists. We have a statement by the Israeli Defense Forces following this mess by Sweeney. They have released a statement saying, while hitting the RT propagandists standing on the bridge, targeted by the Israeli Air Force, for both obviously the Hezbollah terrorist movement and the transfer of thousands of weapons, saying in the footage released in the past few hours, a journalist is seen at the Rasmia crossing. An explicit warning had been issued regarding this area. The crossing was struck after sufficient time had passed.
Look at his face. Look, they told you to move. You know, it's like he was warned. I don't see that happening, Debbie. I see a big, bad battle of war that we started coming. Oh my God, look at this guy's face. They told him to move. Move out of this area. This area is dangerous. Move. Rear. Where's my sound effects? That's what happened. They told you to move. They told you to move. It'd be different if they didn't tell him to move. And thank God he's okay. There's nothing wrong with him. But thank God, did you not see it was coming directly towards him.
Since the warning, the Russian state TV channel RT ignored the evacuation warnings, resulting in its staff members being slightly injured. They got a paper cut. What is wrong with you? Absolute clowns.
A paper cut.
But that's what they want to do. They want to do this as a propaganda, saying, look, the Russians, firstly, he's British anyway, working for the Russians, getting attacked. Oh no, this is so... Anyway, meanwhile, the British government over the last few hours had changed their mind about 17 times. Flip-flopping Prime Minister has now said, I condemn in the strongest terms the overnight Iranian strikes on the Qatari gas facilities. We are working towards a swift resolution to the situation in the Middle East in the best interests of the British people, because there is no question that ending the war is the quickest way to reduce the cost of living. We now have confirmation over the last 45 minutes that the United Kingdom, France, Germany, Italy, the Netherlands, and now Japan have now confirmed that they are ready to join and support efforts to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. What we don't know yet is what sort of efforts are we expecting from the British military, and if they are going to be sending any level of aircraft carrier or warships or whatever else they were supposed to be sending about 2-3 weeks ago.
Okay, don't get in this. Don't do it. Did you hear that? The UK is getting involved. That's what he just said.
Which day and the Prime Minister changed his mind on. We will get back to that, and we're going to go back to the Oval Office shortly. First, we're going to go to the Foreign Minister in Saudi Arabia, who was absolutely outraged. Prince Faisal bin Farhan Al Saud said that I don't understand how the Iranian regime claimed to defend the Islamic causes while attacking Islamic countries.
I don't know how they claim to be fighting for Islamic causes while attacking Islamic countries. They are not attacking a single nation. Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Kuwait, Qatar, UAE, Oman, Lebanon, Jordan, Azerbaijan, Turkey. All these countries are Islamic countries, yet Iran attacks them. And even before this war, what was Iran's contribution in the issues related to the Islamic world? They support the Houthi militia in Yemen. They supported the popular militia in Iraq, who are and now they are attacking Iraq. They are attacking Iraq territories. Hezbollah in Lebanon, who didn't suffice by hijacking the political decision in Lebanon, but rather was an effective arm to perform sabotaging actions in the region and in Saudi Arabia. And the biggest example is Iran and Hezbollah's role in Syria. So where is such support or so-called support in the Muslim world when they commit such crimes? Supporting the former Syrian regime, how do they support the Islamic world when they assassinate politicians in Lebanon? How do they support the Muslim world's issues and causes when they empower the popular mobilization forces in Iraq, hindering the development efforts in Iraq? I can't see how they support the Islamic causes. I believe these are simple slogans which they hide behind it, and these tools, they work to serve the Iranian interests.
Okay, we are breaking news.
Rather than the slogans they claim.
In about 2 hours' time, if you are watching this live, 2.5 hours' time from now, we are having a live press conference with the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who will be speaking out shortly. Of course, we will give you guys the updates following that. There is also a situation. Let's quickly go to the, I think, Emiratis. Yes, we're going to go to the Emiratis because there is another statement that's now been released by the diplomatic advisor to President Mohammed bin Zayed. This is Anwar Gargash, who has said, we have repeatedly warned about the danger of rumors during wartime. Claims about imposing restrictions on capital movements in the UAE are false and clearly refuted.
This is Debbie's channel, which I've been enjoying. Thank you, Debbie, for is there anything specific? They got one breaking Iran launch war on Saudi Arabia. What?
Just the Jewish nation, but also all the Arabs and every now and then Turkey as well. It's a bit of a buffet of lashing out. Now, we're going to talk about the latest in regards to the new supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, or Mushtaba, because he's a mouse, like his father. We have checked a report that came from Iran with 3 of our sources to verify the detailed information about his well-being. You will be shocked to find out what I'm about to say. It's the most hilarious situation ever. We're trying to find out whether he's still actually in a coma or whether he is dead and they're not telling us. Before we begin, massive news with obviously popular support. I decided to bring back, well, I didn't, the team, and I was forced to say yes. Discount code for 2CTV Plus membership. We just released a new show on our 2CTV Plus independent platform called It's Your Law. You can now join 2CTV Plus and get 50% off annual memberships if you use the coupon code LAW50, LAW50. Just go directly on 2C.tv. That's the only place you can use the promo code, or you can just find the direct link in the description, 2C.tv. All right, let's talk about the situation on the ground in Iran. There's a lot of videos coming in from the capital, but also the region as well. Firstly, there is the Iranian people, a lot of them, especially in Tehran, have been watching the fireworks from their balconies and their rooftops, and the younger generation mostly celebrating and thanking the Israelis and the Americans for hitting the IRGC. There is this guy who's apparently an Iranian DJ, unless he just bought the equipment for the sake of it, on a rooftop, on a building, playing music, while in the background, the IRGC bases are getting destroyed.
Something is moving.
This is the most Iranian thing I've ever seen.
Walls are trembling. I don't see it yet, but I know freedom is coming.
It's crazy stuff happening in Iran. But that aside, we have to talk about the Israelis, because over the last few hours, the IRGC launched a number of waves of ballistic missiles and also drones across the region. But tonight, the target has been primarily Israel. And most of them have been intercepted. A few of the missiles fell into the sea as usual. Not really sure how that keeps happening. But the IDF decided to hit back at the IRGC Hezbollah wing in Beirut. This was the result. Yeah. By the way, that last video was not AI. For those of you who actually thought that was AI, it was not AI. It's been verified by the international media. I know we don't trust the legacy media, but even they have confirmed this, including Iran International and others, because they actually have the evidence of who actually sent it to them directly. So big shout out to Iran International. Let's also go back to Iran, because the IRGC have been so desperate that they've been using crisis actors. And before we talk about Mojtaba Khamenei and his situation, they've been using crisis actors. And of course, on 2CTV, it's our job to expose it, because we don't want to create another Hollywood or Gaza wood in Iran. There's this woman, apparently she's an ordinary Iranian woman, and she's everywhere. One day, her apartment building was destroyed randomly by Israel and America. The next day, similar thing happened apparently, and then suddenly she was a supporter of the regime. But let's have a look at the woman. Now that's her having a meltdown. Now she's pro-regime. Same eyebrows, different wig. Stop using the same people. It's getting embarrassing. Come on, guys. But anyway, while they have in this situation, she's supposed to be a normal Iranian woman. She's not even pro-IRGC because she's not covering her hair. They use that psychologically on purpose. But the reality is, they're the same people. You can see them every day on the Iranian Islamic State TV just different clothing, different makeup.
Gotta go.
But obviously, a few of them have already been identified, which we reported a few days ago last week. But let's talk about Mojtaba. How is he doing? Is he alive? Is he?
Debbie's. We will come back to Debbie's. Her. What is this on my eye? We will come back to Debbie's channel. I liked it. I think that we could use some of her channel. Okay. Guys, I'm moving over to Megadoo. Those of you that want to watch Megadoo, I'll see you in just a moment. Oh, that's interesting. Thank you, mods. Thank you, members. Oh, that's what that was. He was celebrating New Year's. He wasn't celebrating us being over there. Gotcha. See you in a minute. Rocky, what's